On behalf of the Wright family, we would welcome all our friends and family and for being here today, and all those who are also on the World Wide Web, I guess. We appreciate their attendance in this service also. A celebration to honor of the life of Terra Lyn Roberts Cook Wright, our beloved mother, granddaughter, sister, aunt, cousin, friend, and neighbor. She was born April 14, 1971 in Richfield, Utah. Died October 24, 2021 in Hinckley, Utah. Her parents were Blaine Roberts and Margot Nielsen. She married Daniel Wallace Cook April 11, 1997 in Las Vegas, Nevada. They were later divorced. She married Anthony Wright August 14, 2015 at Fish Lake, Utah. Children were Cassidy Yvonne, Maddie and Alex Ross, Kyle Wright, Kaylee and Matt Wood, Taylor and Tony Wright, Jordan Wright and Sydney Wright. Grandchildren Quinn Wood, Caden Wood, and Michaela Pierce. Siblings are Tracy and Roy Bolin, Christopher and Heather Roberts. Services are held Thursday, October 28, 2021 at 12 noon, Springer Turner Mortuary. I am Rick Roberts. I've been asked to officiate. I am an uncle. The family prayer was previously given by Russell Wright, who is a brother-in-law. The invocation at this services will be given by Jeremy Roberts, who is a cousin. After the invocation, we will have a eulogy by Lisa Harrington, an aunt. We'll then have a speaker, Jenny Bevan, who is a friend. We'll have a musical selection by Maui Roberts, who is a cousin somewhere over the rainbow. We'll then have a speaker, Ren Gardner, who is a friend. And then we'll have memories by Kara Gregerson. We'll go to that point. Jeremy.
Our dear Father in heaven, we humbly come before thee this day to celebrate the life of Terra Roberts Cook Wright. We humbly ask thy Spirit to be here. As blessed souls who will be speaking, that they may convey the words out of and convey. Heavenly Father, we ask thee to please watch over all who traveled long distances and come here today and keep them all safe as they return home. Father, we thank thee for all thy many blessings, as we do in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay, listen. When I volunteered to read the eulogy, I didn't know what that was. I've since learned that it probably isn't what I thought it was, but you're going to get what I thought it was today. So I'm just going to read her obituary. Terra Lyn Roberts Wright was born in Richfield, Utah on April 14, 1971, to Blaine R. Roberts and Margot K. Nielsen. She passed away peacefully in her sleep, surrounded by her loved ones in her Hinckley home on October 24, 2021. Terra fought an 11-month tenacious battle with colon cancer. She spent her childhood between Richfield and Sandy, Utah. She graduated from Jordan High School and completed an associate's degree at Snow College. She returned to Richfield with her first husband, Dan Cook, to raise their daughter, Cassidy, and start her career in what turned out to be a lifetime of service to others. Through her time at Sevier School District, Sevier County EMS, Miller County Jail, FEMA, and Care Animal Rescue, Terra continued to change the life of anyone she encountered and made lifelong friends along the way. On August 14th, 2015, Terra married Tony Wright in a beautiful ceremony at Fish Lake. They eventually settled in Hinckley, Utah, where they built a home with a backyard that Terra always dreamed of. They spent their time there entertaining friends and family in between amazing vacations. Their 4 dogs, 2 birds, and the 2 random bunnies that showed up in the yard made it a perfect home. Hashtag get a colonoscopy now.
I'm Jenny. I am one of Terra's childhood friends. We met in junior high and we became fast friends and have been very close ever since. Terra, Tracy, and Margot, when we were those young kids, took me in as family and were like sisters to me. We spent a lot of time together. Their house was kind of the hangout where everybody congregated, and it was the fun place to be, and I have a ton of great memories there. I remember some of the things are, Terra had this huge waterbed in her bedroom where we all, when we'd come over there on the weekends, everybody crashed on that waterbed, and that was where we all stayed. And on Saturday mornings, I remember Terra's mom would go to Winchell's Donuts and she would buy dozens because there were so many of us there. She would buy dozens of donuts and bring them home, and we'd all pile in the living room and eat donuts. Most of them were eaten by me, and she would go grocery shopping for the rest of the week, and that was our breakfast: a gallon of milk and these delicious Winchell's donuts. That's a happy memory for me, because that was when all of us were always together, and we did our. There was, between our houses was probably a mile between my house and Tracy and Terra's house. And so they would come and meet me, and there was a set of bleachers there. And all of us kind of a lot of times would end up there at the bleachers. And that was another kind of one of our hangouts that we spent a lot of time and told stories and did lots of other things. There was a Hardee's up around the corner, and we hung out there. And I remember Terra's mom worked in a piano bar called Harvey's, and we spent a lot of time there. And we'd go into the hotel that was nearby and sneak in and swim in the pool. And some of you probably heard when the video was playing back here earlier, the Piano Man. That was a song that so there was one of the piano players at the piano bar. We would always ask him to play that song, and he would play it for us every time. And we once had a birthday party for Tracy and Rochelle, and we went to his home, and he played that song for us. So that's a special song to us, because that was kind of our little song that we like to have him play. So I remember the birthday parties and there was a place called Classic Skating where we used to always go on Friday and Saturday nights. All of us, everybody, the whole crowd, the whole neighborhood. And we would go there, and that was one of Tara and I's favorite things. We loved to go to the football games at the high school when we got into high school, and the high school dances. A lot of fun memories of that with Tara. And also, there was a restaurant across the street from the high school. Chubby's. I think that's what it was called, Chubby's, if I remember right. And we used to go there with just this little greasy spoon, and we loved to go over there and eat French fries and greasy hamburgers, and that was another one of our fun memories. And we used to go up in the mountains, all of us together too, and there was a place called Big Rock that we used to go hang out all together. We learned how to make dumplings with Tara, and we ate them a lot because Tara loved the dumplings. She loved them, and so that was a favorite thing that we used to do. And she also loved her mom's rolls. Her rolls that was one of her favorite things, and so that was something else that I remember Tara and I doing. We watched Friday night videos, and I remember when Michael Jackson Thriller came out, and the cassette tapes that we used to have, and we used to rewind it over and over and over and play it again and again. We knew all the words, we knew all the moves, we knew everything. It was like, that was so fun. And then as we got older and moved away, and kind of all of us started doing different things, I remember when Tara got pregnant with Cassidy. She was so happy, so excited for you to come. And you have always been her pride and joy. And her greatest achievement, for sure. And I love that you will be carrying on the legacy of Tara's service to others, that the love of that you shared with your EMS and Tara's animals. We're going to talk about Tara's animals for a minute, because everybody here knows how much Tara loved the animals, especially the dogs, always the dogs. So all through her life, she had different dogs come through and fostered and took care of and helped find homes for her. And this was probably maybe like 10 years ago. Close by Tara's house, I found a cat that I really wanted on KSL. And so I called the people and said, I need you to keep this cat till I get there. I'll bring you the money. Don't let anybody else take this cat. And then I called Tara and I'm like, you have got to make sure that this cat doesn't go anywhere before I get there. So I came down there, and Tara and I went over there and picked up the cat, and it was a Bengal. And if you don't know what those are, they're kind of wild, obnoxious, a wilder version of a house cat, but they're a handful. So anyway, I went down there to get the cat, got the cat, we took it back to her place, and she said, I need you to do me a favor now. So around the corner, there were some people that had their dog had puppies, and they were ready to go. And if I remember right, they had sign in their yard that said free puppies, and Tara had gone over there to get the puppies, but they wouldn't give them all to her. They would only give her, I think there were six. And they gave her 3 of the puppies, and she's told me, I need the puppies. I need those puppies. You have to get them. So I said, okay, all right, let's do this. So we drove down there. She parked a couple houses down, and she stayed in the car, and I went and knocked on the door. And I said, hey, I saw you guys had some puppies. Can I see the puppies? And they said, sure. And they showed me the puppies. They were darling, husky-type big dogs. And I don't remember exactly what I told them, but I made up a little story. And I said, can I take all 3 of the puppies? And they said, yeah, we'll let you have the puppies. So I got a box, put the puppies in the box, took them, cruised down the 2 houses, jumped in the car. Tara was so happy. She was like, yes. So we got back to the house, and somehow I convinced her to let me keep one of them. So in the 2-hour drive back from her house to my house, I had the puppy in the back seat in a box, the cat in the front seat in a crate, reaching out of the crate, scratching the heck out of my car, the puppy in the back whining, and he pooped like 15 minutes after I started driving. So the 2-hour drive home was that. So, and my sister has the dog. He lives with my sister. She gives him a birthday party every year of the day that she got him, and tags Tara in there and thanks Tara for he's an amazing dog. We love him. And he'll be even more special to us now. Tara, I have a lot of other fun memories of Tara, and she never had trouble telling anybody exactly what she thought. Always very honest. I love that about her, because when your other friends are like, you poor thing, that's sad, and that's, whatever. Tara would always be honest and make you look at the real picture. So, anyway, with that, it's kind of funny. Last Christmas, right around Christmas time, Tony and Tara stopped by my house, and I have 2 little Persian cats. I call them my little smashy face cats. And I was so excited to show them to Tara, even though I knew she probably wouldn't be that excited to meet them. I was like, I gotta show her my kitties. So I picked one of them up and brought him to her, and I says, look how cute he is, Tara. And she said, he is not cute. He is not cute. And all I could do is laugh, because how can you not laugh when your friend is so honest, and she's saying it with all the love in her heart. Your cat is not cute. Anyway, this past year, I've been lucky to stay really very close with Tara and Tony. And we've had lots of good talks, lots of good laughs. Tara and Tony were very kind to make sure they let me, as much as I possibly could have, be included in the journey that Tara went through. And I'm so thankful for that, because I've always, just like every person in this room, I'm looking at how many people are in this room, and I know there's people that couldn't be here that are watching this from somewhere else, and Tara was so loved, so much love right here. And right up until it was more than Tara's physical body could take, she was in the service of others. With her animals that she loved so much, and her EMS work that she did, whenever somebody calls 911, it's because they're in their worst moment and they don't have the resources to handle it themselves. And so when that person comes to help them, even though they were strangers to her, they will always remember that. That'll always be something that they remember. So she changed a lot of made a huge difference in a lot of people's lives. Terra had what I like to call an essence about her, and it was huge and beautiful. And anybody who knew Terra knows exactly what I'm talking about, because when you walk in the room and she's there, you want to be in her space. You want to sit by her and like soak some of that up, because it's so amazing and so wonderful. I can't justify it with words, but she's an incredible, incredible person. And we've all been so lucky and blessed to have her in our lives. And I want to say something about something that Terra came up with that she calls collateral beauty. So even in the ugliness that is cancer, and all of the sickness and the bad parts of this whole experience that she had to go through, there was a lot of beauty too, and there was a lot of opportunities for family and friends and everybody that cared about Terra to come together and share the love that they had for her and she had for them, and for everybody to let Terra know how much she was loved, and her to make sure everyone knew how much they were loved by her. One last thing I want to say, Tony. Terra was truly, and I mean this with all my heart, an angel on this earth. And I think she found exactly another angel just like her. You could not have made her life better than you did. Like, she loved you so much, and you were so amazing. You took such good care of her. You gave her so much joy and happiness. And you're perfect for her. And we all love you. So, anyway, I'm sure no one wants to listen to me rattle on for the rest of the day. So, anyway, I just want to say that I loved her with all my heart. She was very special to me, and she'll always be special to me. I still feel her essence. I know she's here right now with us. I can feel her essence, and she'll always have a special place in all of our hearts.
This is not part of the musical number. I normally sing a cappella, but I'm doing some background music today because I don't want this to drag on. First, I want to say this is an honor. Thank you for letting me share today. I want to take 2 words. I don't think there was ever a trip we went on where we didn't pick up puppies. I have so many photos of just puppies, and I love that because my love for animals was able to stand there. And I wanted to thank Terra and Tony for giving me so many experiences that I never would have had otherwise. I mean, trips, love, enjoyment, just being a part, they really involved me in a lot of things that they didn't have to, and I'm grateful for that. This one's for Terra.
trouble melts like lemon drops. High above the chimney top, that's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. And the dream that you did to oh, why can't well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really sing, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top, that's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dream that you did to why, oh, why can't
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. So I'm Ren Gardner. I've known Terra for 20 plus years. And originally we were neighbors and we became fast friends. And like everybody said, if you know Terra, you love her. And she always said she wasn't a people person, but she obviously was. And everybody's told you, but you were the light of her life. I remember her chasing you through swim meets, and you were her pride and joy, and it was fun watching you grow up. Terra was always in service of everybody else, and I remember when she first signed up for FEMA, the excitement in her to go and help people. And then when she decided to start taking the EMS classes, and she was so nervous that she wouldn't fit and that she wouldn't be good enough. And little did she always know that she was better than all of us. So bright and so intelligent and so loving. So Casey, who is also one of her very good friends, was going to speak, but she's a chicken. So I'm going to read a letter that she wrote for Terra, and I'm going to cry all the way through it because Casey sums Terra up perfectly in this letter. We all have that one person, the person we trust more than anyone, the person we trust with our deepest, darkest secrets, the person we know would be there no matter what if we called them and needed them. Terra was that person. She was definitely one of the good ones. You could always count on her to be honest with you. That's the truth. She was honest. If you were asking for any type of advice, you just needed to be certain you braced yourself at times to hear what you needed to hear and not what you wanted to hear. Terra felt everything. She was such an empath. It was overwhelming for her at times, and I think that is why she liked animals so much. They were just easier to deal with. They don't judge, they don't talk back, and there's just no drama with animals. She loved to save money, and the girl definitely knew how to budget. That's the truth, too. We would occasionally go to yard sales on shift and even went dumpster diving on a few occasions. Mike, our boss, caught wind of it once and asked that we at least take our Sevier County EMS shirts off before we jumped in a dumpster. I remember joking about what would be worse, an instant exposure charge or having to answer to the sheriff for just wearing our shirts. Indecent, I just read that wrong. An indecent exposure charge. What people weren't aware of is we were always looking for things at yard sales to give to pediatric patients on the ambulance, or jumping into dumpsters for perfectly good used items for the pets she rescued. Again, she was doing things to help others. At a yard sale one day, we were confronted by a gentleman that was upset that we were at the sale. He barked at us about not being ready to respond, and Terra said, "We have a first response vehicle 20 yards away right now. And if you were to collapse and go into full arrest, I bet you would be really thankful that we were here close by." He humbly agreed and thanked us for our service. Terra loved to help people, her family, her friends, strangers, her patients, or any abandoned animal she could find. She would do her best to do whatever she could to make this world a little better every chance she got. Terra had her fair share of trials in this life, but a lot of that came to an end when she found Tony. She was totally Twitter-pated. She didn't smile often, but you couldn't wipe the happy off of her face after Tony came along. She made things better wherever she went, and Terra was exactly what Tony needed, and he was what she needed. Together they were unstoppable. She couldn't have found a better man. Terra and I spent a lot of time on shift together, countless hours of talking, laughing, crying, debriefing about not only ambulance calls but life. She talked about Cassidy constantly. How strong she was, how independent she was becoming, how smart she was, and how proud she was of her. Terra was so happy to be Cass's mama. She had a list of things that she wanted to do and places she wanted to go, and I believe she got to do all of that with Cass, Tony, and her other favorite people all by her side. Terra would always use the term tippy canoe. If someone was unstable, even referring to herself or to me on occasion. and I always thought the term was so funny. She would probably accuse us all today of being Tippy Canoes fans. I find myself using the term often, and I think of her and smile. I could say things to her I would never say to anyone else. She has been inside my head deeper than anyone ever has, and we would often joke we knew too much about each other. She is the closest thing to a sister I have ever had, and I am so thankful to have had her in my life. She is one of my dearest friends and one of my greatest teachers, and I will miss her dearly. I think we all had that connection with Terra. I think she was always the one we called when we were in trouble because she was so honest. I don't think there's words to express her love for you, or her dad, wherever he is. And there's not words to express our love for her either. She'll be dearly missed, and she'd be embarrassed that we were all up here talking about her like this. So I'll just leave you guys with that thought and with all of our love.
Okay, I was asked to read some memories from family members and friends of Terra. There's not a time in my life that I can't think back that most of my good memories involved Terra in some way. I'm super blessed for our family because we were not cousins and aunts. We were more like sisters and brothers. And I'm so thankful for all of that. I can't narrow it down, so I just went with my most vivid ones. Starting from when I was probably 8 or 9, I don't know, but I felt like I was the coolest kid when I got to ride to town with Tara, Tracy, and Lisa in the floater, jamming out to Brass Monkey, and I still love some Beastie Boys to this day. Hoodin' in the winter. If you don't know what that is, then you're not as redneck as we are. Laughing deliriously on girls' weekends about eating the whole banana and countless inside jokes that will never be forgotten. We never had a dull moment when we were together, and it's no wonder that Tara's favorite color is yellow, because she's the sun through the clouds, an ray of light in the darkness, and a beacon of hope to all those who were around her. No, I can't read. I could go on all day about the wonderful and amazing woman that she is, but I have memories from others that I will share with you. Aubrey Farnbach said, Tara brought her bird over to Grandma's house for us to hold, and we had a wonderful time together. She gave me some advice that I really needed when I had just gotten back from my mission and was feeling lost. When I first went to college, she and Uncle Tony asked what I had forgotten to bring. They just assumed that I had forgotten something important, and they were right. I had forgotten gloves. They got me a pair, and I still use them. Julie's favorite memory, okay, there's a lot with puppies, so bear with us, was girls' weekend when we hiked Canara Falls. We stopped at Walmart to get food and water for lunch and the hike, and we ended up with 2 or 3 6-week-old puppies. Okay, so they were selling them, and she was like, I need you guys' cash. Like, we're all throwing cash at her because she needed to buy all these puppies. Because Tara had to save them. They went on the hike with us. They stayed in the hotel room bathroom all night. And that is just the epitome of her heart. She wanted to make sure they all went to good homes. She has the biggest heart of anyone I know and could bring happiness into any room I walked into. Lisa's memories. How am I supposed to choose just a couple memories when we have a lifetime of them?
Luckily for you guys, my memory is crap, so I literally could only remember a couple. Just kidding. Freeze-outs. Living in the big house with Dora, family campouts, and that one time we went camping by ourselves and got so scared we about had to come home in the middle of the night. Changing sprinklers and helping burn ditches. Hey, we only used 3 times as much propane as we were supposed to, but those ditch banks sparkled. Watching Are You Being Served and Red Dwarf on TV and laughing and laughing. The trip to Florida. Can you say tree? Every girls' weekend I could go on, but I won't. Tara, you are the sister I never had. You're my person. I love you. Rick and Teresa's memories. An early memory is when Tara was riding the horse in the pasture behind Ray and Verna's house. When the horse tossed her straight in the air, she landed right back in the saddle and taught the horse who was boss. We can't go without saying something about how compassionate Tara is. To people and animals, she always had a house full of stray animals, and our kids were the recipients of some of those animals. Tara always said every kid needs a pet. Our most recent memory was when Pa, Tara, and Cass went on a trip with us to Goblin Valley. We went on some really difficult hikes. When we would get someplace trying to decide if we should turn around, Tara would just say, "What's the worst that could happen?" Then she would laugh and say, "Come on, we can do hard things." We never turned around. We went places I never would have gone without Tara leading the way. Cass and I were worried about her getting tired, but she hiked better than we did. We had such a great weekend. We are so thankful we got to spend time with Tara. She didn't feel great, but she never complained. She was a trooper. Whenever things get rough, we just need to remember we are all on Team Tara and we can all do hard things. Tara, you will be missed, but never forgotten. You will always be in our hearts, and we love you. Cindy shared a thing on our page about how it's her understanding that Pope Francis declared that we will all be reunited with our animals in heaven, and what a glorious picture this makes, especially for Tara. Tracy's memory. When I think of Tara, a million memories flood my head. The happy ones, the funny ones, the scary ones, and the sad ones. But through them all, there is one common theme. Everything she did was done out of compassion for someone or something else. She was the most selfless human I have ever known, and I strive to live the what would Tara do way. And I know what Tara would do now. Tell you all to get a colonoscopy. Luca's favorite memory of Aunt Tur was when they were hiking on the Beaver Creek Trail and we were being super silly and saying things to make each other laugh. We laughed so hard that Aunt Tur peed her pants, which made us all laugh even harder. I loved laughing with Aunt Tur. Cannon's favorite memory of Aunt Tur was Halloween at Aunt Tur's house last year. Jeremy's favorite memory was the time on the deer hunt, riding horses out on the booby hole with Dad and Uncle Blaine, and I think Sharon was there. And it was miserably cold. Never have been that cold at any other time in my life. Me and Tara were freezing so bad, but we didn't dare say anything because we were afraid we'd get cussed out for whining. But Dad and Blaine finally stopped and built a fire to warm us up. Roy's memory. One of my favorite memories was when we went on the Alaska cruise. So many wonderful adventures. I'm glad we had the chance to travel as much as we did as a family. Craig's memory. I cannot remember a time when I saw Tara without something or someone tagging along. Most of the time it was a lost or stray pet. Sometimes it was a lost or stray person who needed a home. Tara was a safe haven for lost spirits. She was a guide to put them on the correct path or at least give them a temporary rest. Now it's her turn to rest, and I love the picture I have in my head of her under a pile of puppies. Pa's memories. I remember phone calls. Dad, I'm working, but someone at Walmart is giving away puppies. Get there and get as many as you can. Weeks later, they would all be in good homes. I have a lifetime cut short of memories, camping trips, mountain rides, early morning runs to adoptions, or the food truck to help with deliveries. Times when she would ask my advice, even though she already knew the right answer, but always Tara's sense of humor, which she still kept till the end. A loving, caring soul, gone too soon. # get a colonoscopy now. It has been my honor and privilege to read these memories and to be a small part of Tara's life. She has made such a huge impact on not only me, but my children, and I'm sure every single one of us in this room, and we are better people because of her love. We we miss you, and we love you.
I don't know why they always do this to me. They tell stories and they say sad stuff, and then they're like, "Okay, Rick, your turn to talk." It's been that way my whole career, it seems like. But thank you for those individual stories and things about Terra. They were awesome. Tony just wanted me to tell everyone how grateful he was for 180 some people that followed him on Facebook for Terra's journey. And he says, I can't tell him. And I says, well, I can't either, but we'll get it done. We appreciate it, and he surely appreciates the love and the prayers and the support that he's had over the last few months for Terra. And you can tell that everybody loved her. Everybody wanted to be around her and be with her and partake of that spirit that she had that the one lady talked about. I would just like to say one little remark. We're all missing Terra very much so, and will in the future. But last Sunday morning early, there was a great reunion in heaven, and there was a lot of joy and a lot of happiness that succeeded them. We give her up, but a lot of people love to see her coming, and they will be able to feel that joy and that happiness that we felt for a lot of years. And I just want you to think of that when we get selfish and think of how much we miss her, that there's a lot of people up there that's missed her for a lot longer than we have, and they were dang glad to see her again and to feel of that spirit. Okay, now I can't read. That's all I have to say. The closing prayer, the benediction will be offered by Mike Willits. And then after the prayer, if everybody will please stay seated. There's a little ceremony that we're going to do. So after he says the prayer, just hang tight for a minute, and I'll get back up and announce what's going to happen.
Our kind, gracious Father in heaven, as we come to the close of this service, as we celebrate Terra's life, we're thankful, Father, for the example that she gave, for the goodness that she lived in her life, for the example to us, and the goodness that we can move forward with. We ask thee, Father, at this time to bless those that are struggling this day, that by thy guiding hand and love will be with them. Father, as we move forward with Terra and her memories in our heart, may we move forward with kindness with each other. May we move forward with patience and endearing attributes that Terra had. Father, that we may look for the good as Terra did, that we may move through this life as Terra would expect. At this time, Father, please bless us as we move through our day this day, that we may do so in safety. And we ask these things, Father, in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Could we please have all the first responders come forward? All right, that concludes our service. Thank you. We appreciate everyone that's here. Just for the immediate family, the EMS is going to escort us out to Venice for our dinner. So if you'll just meet out front, I think they have some trucks out there or cars or whatever, line up behind them, and they will give us an escort out to clear out to Venice to the old church out there, those who want to come out and have lunch with us. So we thank them for their efforts. So hurry out as quick as we can.